Reiki is life force energy, and basically it's based in quantum physics that our body is vibrating at a frequency, and in that frequency you can tap in using Reiki energy, because Reiki is allowing yourself to really emanate that vibration. And what it does is it's going through your energy centers, which are known as our chakras, and clearing that out to promote healing on all levels: your mind, your mental state, your emotions, your emotional state, your spiritual state, so connecting to your highest self, and as well as your physical body.
Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the Quantum Coaching Certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. Welcome back to the Badass Manifester podcast. I have such an amazing guest today, as I always do, and she is going to speak on energy healing, Reiki, how to use Reiki to get better results with your clients. She is the expert in this topic, and her name is Mary Mac. I'm so excited that you're here. She's a coach, she's a healer, she's a teacher. You can find her when she's not working with people on the beach, surfing, walking her cute dog. She's just rollerblading all the time. I love her energy so much, and she's my good friend. She's a QCA graduate. She's a QCA facilitator of Reiki energy healing. She does all the things. Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, all the things. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm so excited. And we're actually doing this in person, which is even cooler. So we're in real time. And I mean, obviously we're always in real time, but like we're actually in real life is what I meant to say, not over Zoom, which is, I don't know, I think it's just cooler.
It is cooler. And it makes me think though of just going right into the Reiki aspect, where a really cool piece about Reiki is you can be in distance. So anywhere over the world, but then also in person. So it is a nice like treat to be here in person, in your energy as well.
Awesome. I love that you just said that. So for those of you who have listened to the podcast, I feel like I've talked about Reiki before. Obviously, we attune our students to it in QCA, but for those people who maybe have no idea what it is, can you just break it down?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Reiki is life force energy, and basically it's based in quantum physics that our body is vibrating at a frequency, and in that frequency you can tap in using Reiki energy, because Reiki is allowing yourself to really emanate that vibration. And what it does is it's going through your energy centers, which are known as our chakras, and clearing that out to promote healing on all levels: your mind, your mental state, your emotions, your emotional state, your spiritual state, so connecting to your highest self, and as well as your physical body.
It's so powerful. Okay, cool. And literally, Reiki means life force energy.
Yes. Rei, life force key energy.
Wow, that's so cool. And so how did you get connected to being so into Reiki?
Yeah, I love this. So I actually got into Reiki when I was 15, and my mom was going to a Reiki practitioner, and I was in the waiting room, and she came out and said, "Do you want to experience it?" And as a open-minded 15-year-old, yeah, why not? And immediately I was feeling the energy, and I was like, wow, I don't know what's happening. She picked up that I was having digestion problems, and at 15, how would anybody know that I was having digestion issues? And so I called her the witch doctor.
That's amazing.
And now I'm a witch doctor. But really, it was what broadened and really opened me up to be able to experience reality on a whole other way that's not talked about and that still most people don't understand. And part of it, we're not meant to understand it, but part of it, there is that science base, which I do love, but also really I love the idea of the part that we aren't meant to understand and we're meant to trust and really feel into ourselves, getting to know ourselves on a physical level and tuning into that energy also.
That is so cool that your mom was just like, okay, like here's the opportunity, and you were like, holy shit, this is wild. And obviously she wasn't a witch doctor because it opened you up.
Yeah.
And then since then, I mean, you eventually got attuned to Reiki, which is like sort of being certified in Reiki, and you went all the way to master level attunement, and you now attune other people to the energy.
Yeah. So that was crazy experience how I got back into Reiki. I had always, since the time I was 15 up until my life now, had always been receiving Reiki sessions. And then I was going through a phase in my life where I'm figuring out, who am I, right? Pause for a moment, sitting and having coffee. Really, who am I? And in comes a thought of, I should learn Reiki. And I kept putting that thought aside. I'm too busy. I'm working 2 full-time jobs. I'm teaching yoga on the side. And lo and behold, the universe made time. I got a really bad concussion where I couldn't get out of bed for a month. And since I had all the time in the world, I was really struggling. And I received Reiki from my Reiki practitioner and mentor. And I decided that I'm going to commit to really stepping into this door that's opening up for me. And I got certified in Reiki, and everything in my life completely changed, which was part of my journey because I was so afraid of the change and who will I become? And I can't do that. I'm going to be a different person. I was so terrified. And Reiki helped me embody more of who I'm meant to become. And looking back now, part of my journey, I remember my Reiki mentor saying that where I can't give you your guides, your angels, because you also receive intuitive messages when you're in a Reiki session. She said, I can't give you, your guides aren't giving you a part of your purpose because you're not going to accept it if you know it. And that's been a big lesson and part of my journey. And Reiki has helped me truly tap into surrender because I love to be in my structure, be in that masculine, understand the process. And Reiki allows me to tap into that feminine energy, that trust that everything is going to work out. And so that has been a big part of where I'm at today in my life.
So powerful. What I really heard from what you said is like how much it's opened up your intuition. And I know how intuitive you are personally just from being close to you, but like, you know, you are, I mean, you're a psychic, obviously. Yes. Like you have like these beautiful psychic abilities, but I'm just curious how that started to come through for you. Because I feel like a lot of people, when they start to open up their intuition, because I can remember when I first got my first Reiki attunement, my intuition was open the next day. My third eye was open. I remember journaling and like talking to my guides and being like, whoa, I'm like wide open right now. And I think that scares some people.
Yes.
But what I want to know is like, I feel like the guides and the intuition drip in slowly, like as much as you can handle is what you'll be given. Can you relate to that? Or has it all been just like a snap of the finger and like it's just all open now?
100%. I relate to that 100%. I know a lot of people are afraid of, what if I open this up? And I came from a really Catholic background where you're taught that's not accepted, you're doing voodoo, woo-woo work. And for me, I was terrified because I thought if I opened my intuition that strange things were going to happen. And yeah, strange things did in the most magical way, where I was allowing the fear to guide me. And most people let their fear guide them. And really, when you allow yourself to tap in closer with yourself, and the Reiki energy helps that, because you're connecting with yourself and realizing that any fears that are coming up is just something that you need to work through. And I 100% believe in what you share, that you're only going to receive what you're capable of. We're always being supported. And for me, I was doing everything I could to block my intuition. I didn't want to tap in. I was scared. And there was this moment where I was meditating, and it was a stormy night. It was creepy and it was dark. I had candles going in my room, and I got this message: Mary, you can either go back to where you were before experiencing your intuition heightening and opening, or you can trust. And I felt what trust felt like, and it felt like ease and freedom. And I said, hell no, I'm not going back. I love this. And since that day, I surrendered into it, and that has allowed me to really tap into my psychic gifts, really tap into my intuitive abilities. And something that I love so much about QCA is you teach upon using your intuition to guide your clients. And I noticed how much of a strong suit that's allowed me to become a really powerful coach, because I'm in this space where I'm tapped in, listening to my intuition, and from a place where it's also connecting to my client's intuition and their highest self, and allowing it to guide them. So it's been really a journey to work through that fear, but also part of my journey has been to trust.
And I feel like for those listening, they might think like, okay, so when you are trusting and you're letting the Reiki flow and you're calling it in and you're using it to work with yourself, even, like, people might be thinking, well, how does it work? Like, is it just flowing through your hands? Is it flowing through your body? Like, how are you calling it in? How is it working?
Yeah, great question. So you're calling in the energy basically off of the quantum physics level, where there are energy fields happening all around us. And a good example, if you're listening to this, you may have heard of the term aura, your energetic field. And basically, as a Reiki practitioner, I am tapping into these energetic fields, and I'm a conduit. So I am not giving you my energy, and I'm not taking your energy, but I am allowing the energy to flow as if it was a rainy day. So the rain comes down, clears everything, goes into the ground, and evaporates back up into the sky. Basically, with the Reiki, you're connecting to that energetic field and allowing it to come down, flow, evaporate, clearing out your energy.
You're the best with metaphors. Seriously. She's got the best metaphors ever. That is perfectly said. It really is that simple. And so using it with clients, for example, like someone who's listening who's like, okay, because I know that there's people that graduate from your program where you attune people, or graduate from QCA, and they have all these certifications now. And some people do kind of niche into Reiki, and they specialize in, separate energy healings. And I know other people like myself, I don't really do separate energy healing work. I more so integrate it, like it's always flowing in the container, because that's the intention that I set.
Yes.
So can you speak to that a little bit of like how you use it with clients in just like different capacities?
Yes. And I love what you said of how you use it in QCA, where you're using the Reiki energy to set it to a vibrational level. And versus how I use it is, if you're working with me, we do a healing session specifically, and I'm an intuitive practitioner. So all of my clients, I'm picking up on intuitive messages, intuitive downloads, and I'll explain what that means in a second. But another thing to note is I do all my sessions distance, so all over the world. And I can still tap in, because you're tapping into that quantum field. And I'm receiving intuitive messages of what's blocked in each of their chakras and why and how they can move forward to clear it. So in that session alone, I am getting a big understanding of what's been rooted not only in their subconscious mind, but down into their energetic bodies, into what makes up their mental body, their thoughts, their emotions, their physical body, and their spiritual body as well. So now I have all this intuitive guidance, and I will share with my clients the messages. And I always say, take what resonates, and usually all of them is a big piece of what they're working through. And then moving forward, our follow-up session, we do a coaching or integration call, and it really makes this beautiful, magical way to really help your clients transform, because not only are you getting to the roots of their beliefs, you're getting into their subconscious mind, but on an energetic level. And an example I like to give with this is when you walk into a room and maybe you haven't seen people in a while and you say, oh my gosh, your energy looks so good. There's something about you. You're glowing. Yes. And that
we all want to be told that, don't we?
Yes.
All the time.
Yes. You are glowing. Well, what is that? That's because you have changed on an energetic level. So that's where including it separately with your sessions can provide massive transformation. And I personally go to all kinds of different Reiki practitioners myself, because every time you get Reiki, it's different. And from every Reiki practitioner, it's going to be different, because it's this unique magic that you embody and create within yourself. So I'll go to certain people for sessions, and they might not receive as many intuitive messages, but that's not why I'm going to them. I'm going to them to really feel the energy. And there are certain practitioners I go to where I am on fire. I am warm. I am feeling everything release. And so anytime you receive it, it's going to be different, but it's really a beautiful process to help your clients heal in a whole other level, in a whole other way.
That is so cool that you can use. So, okay, hold on. Let's just back it up. First of all, I just want to go back to the way that you work with your clients, because it's really, really cool. It's very interesting. And everyone finds their unique way to work with their clients. Obviously, when you learn Reiki, you're going to learn how to, access the information in the chakras and tune into that. And so when you get that intuitive information, and you said your distance with them, are you on Zoom with them, or are you just totally just distant and you don't need to be on a call with them or anything? How does that work?
Yeah, great question. And this is actually what I teach my students in my program, is how you can create your own distance Reiki session that feels good for you. So what feels good for me is we meet on Zoom, we set intentions, then we turn our camera off. And during that time, they're meditating. I'm tapping into their energy. And a piece of how I receive intuitive messages, and this is a key way to tap into your intuition, is I'll notice what thoughts are coming up in my mind, or I'll see a picture. And it's something usually quite out there, so I know it's not just me thinking a certain thought.
Do you write it down?
I write it down, yeah. So I write down as I go. And how I do it is I will start on the root chakra, and I will see a picture. I'll use, for example, a couple weeks ago, I saw a white tiger. And the message was for my client was, people are looking at him differently. And it's not because he's hanging out with tigers, so to speak. And it's not because he is a tiger. He is a white tiger. So people, if you are ever gone to the zoo, pointing at the white tigers, wow, they're so different. They're so cool. And to embrace that. And so I saw the white tiger, and I'm even thinking of a white tiger. This isn't my thought. So I wrote down that message, and that resonated such on a deep level with him. And so as I'm going through every chakra, I'm writing it down. And then after I finish, I unmute, I guide them out of meditation. And I usually gear it towards integrating all the energy to allow them to embody the messages that were coming through. And then we go over everything.
Wow. So cool. Okay, cool. That's amazing. Because I've had sessions done, and I'm sure you have too, where I'm not on a call with them at all, but I'm meditating.
Yeah.
And I'm just zoning, tuning in, but like just relaxing. And the practitioner's doing her thing. And then she would like leave me a 10-minute video that she would send me afterwards. And that was cool too. So it's like you can get creative of figuring out what ways work for you, and then also what's most transformational for your clients. But what I love is that you do a follow-up integration session. So like from a business perspective too, thinking about how to incorporate Reiki and into your business, it's like think about how you can package things together, right? Because I'm sure you sell that as a package of like you're doing a really deep healing session, and then you have to have the integration session, which is the coaching session. And then maybe someone will want to continue coaching and working through what comes up, because sometimes there's a lot that comes up in these sessions, right? Like this is, really deep work. It's subconscious work. It's energetic work. And so when you're uncovering these deep, deep things with your clients, things such as worthiness, right? Not being good enough, like deep rooted things from either this lifetime, past generation, because it all comes through. Sometimes that takes a longer time to process. So do you ever have it where, you're doing your integration session and clients are like, okay, I need to keep going with you because I want to keep uncovering more?
Absolutely. They love it. And I believe part of my purpose is to change the standards for Reiki, because it is such a powerful healing modality. And why I'm really big on teaching students is because I train people to do what feels good for you. I love to do things that feel good for you. So my integration calls are 90 minutes because to me, 60 minutes, it doesn't sit. 60 minutes is great, but I'm somebody who really likes to go slow, take my time. And so when I do create something, I do it how I know I like it, and knowing that energy will pass down to my clients. So yeah, my clients they are healing in a way that they haven't experienced before. So I have clients come back and say, I want to continue this healing because it's not only opening up your energy centers, but it's opening up areas in your life. Because I always give the example, especially with energy, where there is a block in your energy is impacting all areas. And I invite you to think of a hose. When you are out watering the flowers in the garden and a kink in the hose comes along, no water is flowing. So if you have a block in your subconscious mind about money, that block is energy, and that block is also stems from a really deep rooted place, most likely childhood. And that belief of I'm not worthy of money, I'm not good enough, is also blocking other areas. So relationships is huge, and fulfillment, purpose. So clients definitely come back to really
want to continue,
yeah.
It's so interesting what can come up in sessions, because you might go in with one intention and then something totally different comes up and you're like, whoa, I thought I worked through that. I thought I healed that. Let's dive deeper into it. So I love that, because from a business perspective, not only are you getting more transformation for your clients, which then in turn, they want to share you with the world, because they're like, oh my God, Mary's the best. Like everyone needs to go see Mary. Like my life is different now. But also I like what you said about, I like to structure your integration sections for 90 minutes, because here's the thing, when you are, certified in all these different modalities, I think it's common for coaches and healers to forget that you're the boss.
Yes.
And we were talking about being the boss earlier, like boss bitch vibes over here. Like, no, but really like taking control of your business. Like yes, you can go to a coach and they can tell you how to structure things. But like you said, it feels good to you. If a coach told you, oh, do 60-minute calls, but then it didn't feel good to you, that's not what you should do.
Yes. Yeah. And especially because this is deep work. So it's creating the space to really dive in. And that's why I'm so different from any Reiki practitioner, and anybody who goes through my program is so different than me, because I do 2-hour Reiki sessions. So it's not coming in, clear your energy, go ahead. I am using this as a life-changing tool because it is a life-changing tool. So you're coming in, you're experiencing the energy, and then we're going over all of the messages. Where sometimes I call it the little quick fix. I do want that quickie Reiki session where...
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have some, Mary was at a retreat that I was leading, and she was helping me, and I had a massive headache, and she helped me, and she did healing on me, and it was amazing. And it wasn't a 2-hour session, but it was super impactful, and it helped my head immensely. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just a little example.
Yeah, exactly, where it can be a really great tool if you're having a migraine or your stomach's not feeling well. I Reiki my stomach all the time, and especially as we're up leveling as coaches, as we're up leveling, as we work on ourselves with our clients, our energy is growing. It's like building a muscle. You are raising your vibration. That's where that term comes in. Raising your vibration is building your energy. So being able to take a moment to calm my energy, place my hands on my solar plexus, which is your belly, and tune in really helps clear a lot.
Every single time I have a sensation like a headache or anything, I am always just putting my hands there. Always, 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 always. And I've been Reikiing the baby every chance I can get. Just sending all the good energy.
Yeah, I'll even give an example. This past weekend, I had a lot of anger in my body, and I didn't know where it was coming from. And it is so normal and actually really powerful when you are feeling those quote unquote lower vibrations, because feel it to heal it. We've all have heard that. And in order to clear that, Reiki really allows me to connect with that anger. And when I allowed to feel it, and when I connected with that anger, it wasn't from a place of I'm scared of experiencing this emotion, I don't want to go into it. I connected with it through the Reiki energy, and I realized that I'm actually angry at past versions of myself for not setting boundaries, not stepping into her full potential. So I use the energy to clear that. And then with intentionally, this is the powerful piece too, that you can invite in energy. What do I want to feel right now? I want to feel safe. I want to feel confident. And I invited that in, and I breathed it in. So it was a really expansive moment of 10 minutes in my room, allowing myself, let me feel into this and let me expand this energy. And so that was a great way. Yeah.
That's something that is so underrated. I think when people get attuned, which is the first thing you really are invited to do, is to do self-healing. It's not just a tool for you to use with your clients. It is a tool for you to use on yourself, like to really work with your energy, because as you said, as you raise your vibration and build your energy, build your aura, like clear your aura, clear yourself out, you will become a much more potent magnet to attracting everything that you want, clients, wealth, relationships, everything that you want. And it's just like, I don't know, sometimes we seek outside of ourselves. I know even for me, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to go talk to someone, or I need to go to a sound healing, and all those things are great, but also I have the power to work on myself.
Yes.
With Reiki.
Yes. And if you're listening to this, and a great way to start to invite in the energy, I always say Reiki calls you. Yeah. So you will, if it's calling you, you've probably heard of Reiki or starting to hear of it more and more.
And now you're hearing this podcast and you're like, oh man, I need to get some Reiki.
Yes. And I always say, so Reiki, you're going to start to feel that draw on towards understanding energy. And even if you're listening to this now and it's so new to you, that's completely okay. A great and powerful way you can work with energy every single day in any moment. Say you're about to jump on a client call and you say, what is the intention I want to set for this session? To stay grounded, to really help them see a block in their mind. Reiki is all intentional, and that intention is as if you were going to pray, right? Somebody's sick, you say, oh, I'll pray that you get better. That's the same thing with Reiki, is saying, I'm going to send out good vibrations. I'm going to send out positive energy. So every day, here's a tip for you. If you really want to start to work with energy, you can, usually first thing when you wake up, you're really still connected into your subconscious mind, that theta state where your energy is so open. Ask yourself, how would my highest self show up today? And whatever word, whatever feeling, maybe you see a picture, it makes you think of something, use that to set your intention. So my word today was power. I'm showing up power. That is my energy, and that is the energy I'm going to attract. And if I'm in a situation where it feels the complete opposite of power, I can ask myself, what do I need to do to work through to shift back into my power?
That's so good. I mean, on your Instagram, you always say, claim your vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
Claim your vibe.
Claim your vibe. Powerful, grateful. Like, powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's such a good tip. And going back to intention, intention is the root of all creation, right? So it's like we so often just get sucked into our day, and our day has us instead of us having our day. And like, if you really want to be the deliberate creator of your life, like that's why you're listening to this right now, because you care about yourself, you care about your mindset, you care about your energy. That's why you're here, or else you wouldn't be here. It's so important to decide, like Mary's saying, set your intention. What do you want to feel? What do you want to embody? What do you want to call in? Like, get really, really clear. It's like it's really so simple.
It's so simple. And one of the things that I say a lot is really this, you may have heard this phrase before, but I put my own twist on it. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions you're asking yourself. But the way that I put my twist on it is the depth that you invite into your life is also determined by the depth you're willing to go within yourself. And energy is a really gentle way. If you're maybe afraid to tap into that depth, maybe you're afraid to unpack some emotions, some trauma that's been trapped within your body, Reiki is a gentle way to start to play around with the energy, and you're going to notice how things are going to start to shift. As if you were looking at a puzzle and you're looking for a puzzle piece to put in the last spot and you can't find it, and all along it's right in front of you.
Yeah. Reiki
is allowing you to see your trauma, your repressed emotions from a different lens.
So good. It's so true. I remember one time, one of my really good friends, Valerie. I don't know if you ever met Valerie, but she's a beautiful energy healer, and she was giving me a healing session. And here's the thing. It's like, this is not a one and done. Like with your clients, when, they're going to have a massive transformation just from one session, but then there's going to be more stuff to unpack. So it's like, it's a continuous, practice and offering that you can offer. But I remember in one session, I was with my friend Val, and I didn't feel upset about anything. I didn't feel like there was anything in the way. I didn't feel like I was having a bad day or a bad week. Like, I didn't feel anything. I was just receiving a session. And then out of nowhere, I was just like, I'm so sad. And I just like started hysterically crying, and it just all came up. And I had a massive release. And I was like, wow, that was so it seemed like out of nowhere, but it made perfect sense once we kind of dove into it. So I don't know where I was going with that, but just, I think what you were saying, like, before.
Yeah, I hear you, where and you mentioned this earlier on, that as we work on ourselves and even work with our clients, we might feel like, oh, I've worked on this before.
Yeah.
But we're actually diving deeper into that, and we're creating more depth within our hearts, within our mind, our body. So that's where you're getting at.
Journey of self it never ends. It really never ends.
It never ends. I will start to say, oh, I thought I worked on this already, but it's just creating more space, which is so beautiful.
And things come back up to go deeper, like you said. So, and that's the same thing that will happen with your clients. So when you are when you're in a position to offer Reiki, basically what happens is you get attuned to there's 3 levels of Reiki energy that you can be attuned to as a practitioner. One of them is level 1, and the second one is level 2, and that's where you receive symbols that can go with your Reiki. I think you give symbols with level 1 as well. Every practitioner is different. And so you get symbols as well that give you just more power to add more emotional support for your clients, and then also a distance symbol to make it more powerful when you're doing distance healing. And then the third level is master level, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where you can then attune other people to level 1 and level 2. Yes. And it's a process. And so just from a business perspective, can you share for people that are just wondering, how much is an average Reiki healing session?
Yeah. Yes. It typically depends on the Reiki practitioner. Now, if you, as we talked about, want to go in for a quicker healing, that can be anywhere from $75. Or if you want to experience the full transformation, I'm committed to understanding myself in a way I haven't seen before or felt before, that is where the Reiki goes up to more of an investment, because you're committing. So it depends on the practitioner. It depends on how they steer their clients. And I know I've definitely, I am raising the bar for Reiki practitioners and the Reiki practitioners that I call in, because this is such a powerful healing modality. So I know that I've had people come to me and be put off by, wow, you're charging this much. And I've gone to other Reiki healers and they've charged this, and that's beautiful and that's okay. But I know
your sessions are 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And then your integration sessions are basically 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So it's different.
It's different. And as you're listening to this, and I know, Ashley, you have a lot of podcasts talking about money mindset. It's also part of it is in the transformation of how committed you are as you're choosing to go for something that's more of an investment. Your energy is already tuning to that frequency.
Totally. And it's also about how you structure it, right? Because you can structure it in any way. So this is another example. What my first, step into the personal development world was teaching yoga and getting certified. Practicing yoga first and then teaching it and getting certified in it and all the things. And I was making $30 for the hour of teaching yoga, but it wasn't just the hour. I had to be there 30 minutes early, and then I had to clean up afterwards, and I was there for over an hour, and you have to drive there and you have to drive home for $30, and it was about 3 hours of my time. And it wasn't about the money, right? Yes. It was about, I love teaching, and it was so beautiful, and it was such a great transformation that the people on the mat were getting, and all of that great stuff. But as I grew, and as I became a coach, and as my schedule got busier, I had to let go of things that were not, equaling the time that I was providing and that I was giving. But before that ever happened, I remember thinking to myself, there's got to be a way for yoga teachers to make more money. And so I started to think, how can I package things in a way that has that's more sustainable for me as the practitioner, for my energy, but also everyone, this is a whole nother topic, but like spiritual businesses and making money, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Business is business, right? You're providing a service, and there's a energetic price tag to that yes. happens to come in dollars, right? So I started to create Reiki yoga experiences on the beach, and it was a 6-week series, and I think it was like $300 or something, and I had and then you could also drop in for more money, like $50 if you want, or $45 if you wanted to drop in. And I started to make really good money just being certified in Reiki and yoga.
Yes.
And I was offering it in the summer as a series, and that was the only thing I would promote. And I'm like, wow, yoga teachers should really branch out more, and they could be making way more money and helping more people and all the things. So that kind of started to open up my mind to it's all about the way you structure things too. Yeah. And the package that you provide and the value that you provide in the package. So if someone said something once of don't try to charge more for something, create that experience, create that. Yeah. She's like, don't try to have a $10,000 offering, but create a $10,000 experience.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that, because back to creating how you know you would really enjoy something, and you created that yoga series where it's not just yoga, it's an experience. It's
right.
You're healing.
It's a transformational experience.
Yeah. And that's what's so great about you. As you said, you are the CEO. You can structure your business anyway. So you could be listening and be certified in breathwork. You could do 30 minutes of breathwork and then 30 minutes of Reiki. It's really a great tool that you can add in anywhere.
Yes. And when you have all these different modalities under your belt, you're providing just so much value and from different aspects and like blending. I think people tend to compartmentalize themselves of like, oh, I'm only teaching yoga, or I'm only a sound healer, I'm only doing, and my sound healing is separate than my coaching.
Yeah.
But my coaching is different than my Reiki. And here's the thing, you are all of it. You're the container for all of it. So start getting creative and have fun.
Yes.
With the way that you put things together and the way that you offer things, because it's a game changer.
Yes, get creative wherever you are in your life. The thing that I hear time and time again is people come to me and say, someone told me a psychic, I'm supposed to be a healer. And I'll ask them, well, what does being a healer mean to you? And usually it means I want to help people. And that can go in anything. That doesn't mean you specifically have to be a Reiki practitioner. That doesn't specifically mean you're breath work, astrology. It can be a whole umbrella of tools. And in a safe space with coaching, you are providing a safe environment for that person to transform given whatever tool that you feel guided intuitively to use in the moment.
I love that so much. That's so key. Something that I did find recently on a QCI application call, I was talking to this girl, and she was actually certified in a lot of different healing modalities. She's like, but I just feel so stuck in not knowing how to blend them, which we're kind of talking about. But it was more, what we got to was she applied to QCA because she felt like she didn't know how to coach people on what it was that was coming up when she was using those modalities. Yes. And so obviously you don't have that problem because you know how to coach like a boss. But do you know what I'm saying?
I do, because that definitely came up for me. That was actually a big factor why I decided to join QCA. Was I was doing this deep healing work already with clients and diving deep into a lot of the energy and childhood wounds and how it's impacting their life. But then I didn't really know how, again, going back to structure, I didn't know how to structure it from there to set them on a clear path. It was like we were weeding the garden to plant the seeds, but we planted the seeds and then didn't have the right tools to maintain it. So, and that's what QCA allowed me to do. Was I already knew how to get my clients to open up, use powerful tools, but it helped me get them on their way to growing into this beautiful plant.
I love that. And like taking action from the sessions and not just like sitting in it of being like, okay, I have all this information now. It's really the integration piece. I think the coaching is the integration of the somatic healing work that we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, because a lot can come up, and if you don't have that integration or the space to digest it with a coach and in a safe space, in a safe environment, you're going to go exactly back where you were, because your vibration is shifting. But if you're not continuing to work on it, as if you're growing that muscle, you're raising your vibration, then you're going to stay where you're at. So that's where having that coaching and that integration is really impactful to continue on in your journey.
And as the practitioner, to facilitate that type of healing on someone and have all these deep things come up, the coaching piece of it is going to allow you to help the client process it, right? Because yes, it's coming up and you're telling them the intuitive messages, and then what, right? Yes. So it's like, then it's like, let's take it to another level so that they can really, really process it, and you feel confident in your abilities to be able to, like you said, hold the space for them to kind of dig deeper into it.
Yes, exactly. And that was part of, again, why I joined QCA, because I was noticing me doing the healing on myself. I was staying, I would have a transformation, but then I would be back to square one. And one of the things that you teach on in QCA, which helps shift me completely, is working on goals, setting goals, and in an achievable way and maintaining them. So you're now understanding with your energy of what was blocking it and why. But now you are energetically working towards your goals and you are being held accountable and committed to that. So that's where a lot of people who healers in the space can fall short, and clients are just coming time and time again back to them. I never want a client to rely on me. I trust that I can help them heal, but they are the ones who are doing the work themselves. And that's where adding the coaching and integration is a big piece.
Mic drop on that. Like, for real. That is so key. It's not like a wounded healing thing where they keep coming back because they feel like they can't do it on their own. It's not like a hand holding or what is it called? Like a codependency.
Yes.
It's like you're doing it. You're helping them have this transformation so that they can fly.
Yes.
And I think that's really like the most empowered way to be a coach and healer. Like our clients don't need us. Our clients don't need us, and they don't need us forever, and they don't need us for a long, long time. They just want to work with you because they know that they'll be able to get what they need and move on. Something else I wanted to just say before we kind of wrap up is I think for a lot of healers or coaches, like, there's missing pieces where someone might know how to coach, but they might not have some of these other modalities under their belt.
Yes.
Where they're not getting the results with their clients because they don't have these somatic practices that are giving an experience to your client. You're not just sitting there for 60 minutes coaching them and talking to them the whole time. Instead, you're taking them through a process or like their chakras, right? Like a healing session, an actual experience versus just talking to them.
Yes. And it's really, I love that you said that because it's really powerful because I recently did a session on another healer, and she told me, I love the way that you structure your sessions, because I'm saying, okay, we were here in the root chakra, now we're moving here, and it's really creating a space that we don't often get to tap into or see. And you mentioned earlier the energy of creativity and having fun. It's taking our logical minds, giving them a break for a moment, and really tapping into our subconscious mind.
Yeah. Anytime you can give your clients the space to tap into their subconscious, you could pretty much guarantee a transformation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Oh, everything happens yes.
And I think that is a huge reason why coaches and healers are so afraid to charge more for their work, is because they're so afraid that their clients won't have a transformation. And they want to make sure, and I think we can all relate to this, especially as new coaches, I want to make sure that my client's getting what they're paying for.
Yes.
I want to make sure that it's valuable. I want to make sure that they're getting, the goods. And when you have these tools and you know how to use them, it's inevitable. They will.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a great point, because if you feel called, you hear yourself saying, I'm a healer. Yes, you are. It's a calling and you have a purpose to help people. But adding on the confidence to be able to facilitate post-transformation, so not just the healing, but being able to see how it can impact your physical reality is huge, life-changing.
So good. So Mary is one of the facilitators of Reiki inside of the Quantum Coaching Academy. She has her own Reiki attunements that you can go through if you are just looking for that thing to add to your toolbox. Like, she can provide that for you. She offers that. And if you have thought about joining QCA, you'll also get her inside of QCA as one of the things that we certify in. And she is always just such a bright light on those calls. I mean, you're always a bright light, but like, it's just so nice to have you there. We're part of the same lineage of Reiki, and one of my Reiki master comes on the call too, and he's just amazing. Such this beautiful masculine energy. So she's bringing the feminine, I'm bringing he's bringing the masculine, and I'm like in the middle balancing both of those energies out. And it's just a really cool experience that we create together. So we were talking before we were going live, and we were sharing about some things that have manifested off of our vision boards lately. I shared that by the time this launches, I'll probably have already shared this, but my husband surprised me with my dream car. Literally, I was showing Mary my vision board. I was like, I need a new vision board now, because he literally brought home my mom car, my hot mom car, which is a white G-Wagon, black rims. Like, literally, you guys, my freaking dream car. It's been on my vision board for 3 years. And we were talking about vision boards, and I said the podcast almost has 1 million downloads, and she shared.
I shared that being on this podcast is on my vision board, because I've been listening since you OG days, and I listen to every episode. So
wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I know.
I fucking love that. Like, I don't know, it just lights me up so much hearing that. And it's not just like, it's not like, oh, like, it's just, I've had things like that happen too, where I got to be on podcasts that were on my vision board. It's just like, it's the power of intention. Like, bringing it back to that, it's like we both intended for these things to happen in our lives, and we both do massive healing work on ourselves. And so, the higher we raise our vibration, the more we attract the things that we are putting out. And that's possible for you. And so that's why I wanted to share that. And that kind of goes into my other question, which I always ask. I think I'm going to add that question of like, what's your most recent vision board manifestation?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. What makes you a badass manifester?
Oh my gosh, the time has come.
Yes.
What makes me a badass manifester in this phase of my life is the ability to be flexible. I currently am seeing a palm tree, and what's really powerful when we talk about getting rooted like a tree. If you've ever taken a yoga class, you've heard that. But the thing about a palm tree is they bend forwards, backwards, they endure the storm. And that's from flexibility. And the deeper part of me being a badass manifester with the flexibility is being non-attached. Key component into manifesting. So that's what makes me a badass manifester is I'm open to being flexible. I'm reminding myself that now, because as someone who loves to be in control, flexibility really is the fastest way to bring in more happiness, more love, and fulfillment. So that is what makes me a badass manifester.
I love that so much. It's beautiful. So beautiful. And where can everyone connect with you if they want to book Reiki session with you or coaching with you or anything with you? Where can they connect with you? Yeah,
connect with me on Instagram at MaryMC4. Say hi. Let me know any questions you might have about Reiki. And really what this podcast brought up for you. I am really excited to connect with all of you. So Instagram's the best way. And if you're not on IG, my website is truevibewellness.com.
truevibewellness.com. Tag us, you guys. Let us know what resonates with you. If you loved this episode, and I know you did, please leave a review. That would mean the world to me and to Mary. And please reach out if you have any questions about Reiki. And we just send you so much love.
Send you all the good vibes.
All the good vibes. And the Reiki's been flowing this whole time, so hopefully you feel elevated AF. I know this podcast episode lit you up today. It was so much fun recording it, and we want to keep the fun going. I know you know this, but please join us for Big Coach Energy Live, which is happening October 17th, 18th, and 19th, and 20th. It is our 4-day live event to help you up-level your coaching. So if you were listening and you're like, I really should up-level my coaching, and if you want to learn more about what we do in QCA, this live event, I always say this, but I could definitely charge for it. It is extremely valuable. There's so much content in there. There's so much information for you to binge and listen to and implement right away with your clients. And if you're thinking about becoming a coach and a healer and doing all the things, this could be a really good opportunity for you to get just a peek inside of what it could be like. So please join us. The link is in the show notes. Hit it, join BC Live. You'll get an email confirmation. You can link it to your calendar. so you have all the reminders in place because you're gonna wanna be there. And I can't wait. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at ManifestWithAsh. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.